Hey there, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Welcome to day 2135 of What You Up To Now, documenting my journey originally as I came online from the brick and mortar corporate world of business and then came online in 2017 and started learning and doing different things, making a lot of the same mistakes everybody else who first comes online makes. It's hard to admit that I've done that, but I absolutely positively had. And today I've actually done two videos and they both worked the first time, which fingers crossed this one will as well. It's been a tough couple of weeks for technology. Technology's just been giving me kind of a little bit of fits, not bad fits, but fits nonetheless. So today we're talking about in both the Get Your Goals Annual Challenge, and I tried to talk about a similar topic in my Supersize Your Business group so that I'm consistent in my thinking and what I'm sharing. Today we're talking about priorities, the origin of the idiom to set your or set one's priorities. It's a relatively new idiom. It's from the 20th century, at least in America. Of course, priority and priorities comes from the Latin word priori, or let me see if it's priori, I can't remember. Oh, and prioritas, which means first in rank. Priori means most important or top most important thing, and that's exactly what our priority means. And we talked about, and I gave 7 tips on, or not 7, I gave 9 actually tips on how to set priorities and what's important with respect to setting priorities and why we even want to do it for the challenge. And in the challenge we're picking today what are our top 3 priorities right now, and I shared what mine are because didn't even take me 25 seconds or 30 seconds to come up with these are the 3 things that are most important to me. Why? I've got my brain trained to think in terms of priorities, and when something comes up, I automatically run it through one of the tools that we've talked about in the challenge this year. One of my favorite ones is the urine analysis. Is it urgent? Is it, what resources is it going to require? Is it necessary? Is it URIN, necessary, is it important? Is it necessary? Is it, how much effort and energy is it going to take to deal with the thing? And I run it through those filters and give it a rank order in my mind automatically, so I know, do I need to take care of it myself? And one of my first filters is now after, is it urgent, important? Is it necessary? Is it, what resources and what energy is it going to take to do? Is it up to me? Am I the only one that can do this? Am I the best person to do this? And if the answer is no, I find the best person to do it and make sure that it gets done, but I don't have to use my own energy and resources. Well, I usually probably have to use resources, but not my own physical energy and time, which are my most valuable resources, to make sure that it gets accomplished. You know, we use priorities, and if we know what our top 3 priorities are, if we know what our priorities are for each of the different areas and aspects of our life, decision making becomes really easy, because either it fits with what is important to us and where we're going in that area and aspect of our life, or it doesn't. And you can apply this and ask yourself that in any area and aspect of your life. Physical priorities. Is it important, urgent, necessary? What resources and what energy will it take for me to eat right, take better care of myself, right? Is it a priority or not? If it is, then based on my priorities and my physical well-being and health, I will say yes and no to different activities, yes and no to different things that I consume, right? So maybe instead of having 6 Christmas cookies, I will just have 1 or 2. So knowing what my priorities are helps me to make choices, make decisions. One of the toughest things we have to do as humans, because we're inundated with so much information and so much stuff, is make decisions, make choices, and choose what's right for us. Now, as far as when someone tells you to get your priorities straight or get one's priorities in order, I have found in the past that whenever anyone outside of me tells me that, when I ask myself that question, it's empowering and important. It's like asking ourselves the question, why? If we ask why about anybody else, it's an exercise in futility. If we ask why about ourselves, it helps us to learn and understand more about ourselves. The same is true of us asking ourselves what our priorities are versus someone else telling you, get your priorities straight. Whenever I've been told, get my priorities straight, get my head out of my you-know-what, or get my together, it's by somebody that is judging my decisions and my choices based on their priorities, not on my own. And we need to remember that we can take that with a grain of salt, just like we do feedback. Feedback's important, but just because somebody gives us feedback doesn't mean we accept it as true. It's their truth, but that doesn't mean it's our truth. So love this topic. Love to know, could you right now say, these are my top 3 priorities? And could you do it in a minute or less? Because if not, then we probably need to go back to the drawing board and start going through and really being honest with ourselves. What are our priorities? And are they the priorities that they should be for us? If you've ignored your health like I did for 20 years and you have a sudden cardiac arrest and drop dead, maybe health needs to become a much higher priority and physical well-being on your list than it was before. I had to, following that event, totally throw out and revamp and rebuild and reset my priorities. Because my priorities before that, nobody needed to tell me. I realized in a very big way that they were messed up and they needed to change. Hopefully you don't have to go through that kind of an experience. I don't recommend it. But each of us have our own journey. All right, if I can help you anyway, ask. Otherwise, have an awesome day, and I'll, of course, be with you tomorrow.